Now, stablecoins are failing to live up to their name amid a collapse in the algorithmic tokens. Cryptocurrencies have steadied this morning, but the woes of the TerraUSD stablecoin actually triggered a flight from many popular digital tokens. Now, for more on all of this, we're joined by Bloomberg's Emily Nicole. Emily is our crypto czar. I love speaking to you because you make us so much smarter, Emily, on what exactly is going on. I mean, I just look at it and go, wow, what is going on? Bitcoin, below 28,000. What has been going on in the crypto space in the last couple of days?
So we've seen a bit of action all over the place. Initially, it's been a major slide for Bitcoin, especially today. It's gone down to its lowest point for quite a while. And that's something that it doesn't usually do, actually. Going down to a low past the year before has only ever happened once before, so this is quite a big deal.
It feels different as well, isn't it? It feels like a slide that I don't know if it's trying to find a bottom, or I'm not sure whether it's crypto that's giving momentum to stocks or the other way around.
Yeah, usually there's a bit of a back and forth between Bitcoin and the tech stocks. We've been seeing increasingly strong correlations between Bitcoin and tech stocks over the last few months, indeed. And so that argument of Bitcoin as inflation hedge isn't really working out so much at the moment. But this week in particular, it's been unique because we've seen a knock onto stable coins as well, like you mentioned before. Coins that are meant to hold a strong peg to the dollar normally. So they're meant to be flat value, not volatile, a safe store of wealth when you don't want to leave the crypto ecosystem, but you want to be able to make sure your money stays at the value you want it at. And those have been falling off their pegs left, right and centre, with some of the biggest stable coins in the ecosystem falling as low as 20 cents at one point yesterday. So it's really big damage.
So, Emily, does it recuperate from this damage, or are there any ramifications, longer term once we get through this?
So if we look at the one that fell really, really low yesterday, that would be UST, which is backed by Terra. That one, the founders are now trying to scramble to find outside funding to basically bring that peg back up to the dollar. The way that stablecoin is managed is using a combination of algorithms and trading with another token on its network called Luna, and that usually tries to keep its peg done using basically complex maths at $1 rather than having a bunch of real dollars behind it. Unfortunately, because that process hasn't worked out for them now, they're now trying to find real dollars to back it up. They're only seeking about 1.5 billion at the moment is what we're understanding. But to be honest, what we're hearing is that that's not even going to be enough. They're going to need to get up way more than that to get it back up to $1.
So where are they looking for funding? I mean, and if you're a retail investor, you're not protected, right? Or does it depend on the jurisdiction?
You're not protected pretty much anywhere. I don't think there's any rules anywhere at the moment that would protect people from stablecoin investment. The UK is actually one of the very few places where they've put out rules that may come into force in a year or two that would seek to provide some protection for stablecoin issuers. But at the moment, anyway, there's no protections at all. Just like with the rest of crypto, any money you put in is entirely at your risk. In terms of whether or not where they're looking for that money, for that dollar, they're going to, the who's who of crypto. Any investor that's made its name is pretty much on the list, is what we're hearing. A few of those have already said, no, we're not interested in participating. So, time will tell as to whether or not they're going to be able to get that 1.5 billion they're seeking.